the so-called quote-unquote financial regulatory reform bill is a disaster. Okay, and there's no question that our financial innovation got ahead of our financial intelligence, and that led to part of the issue we're dealing with now. But what the financial regulatory bill completely sidesteps is what truly caused the problem we're in now. And yes, there was greed on Wall Street. Guess what? Newsflash, there always has been greed on Wall Street. That's not what caused the crisis. It fed on the crisis. What caused the crisis was government policy, okay, in two profound areas. One was Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac getting carte blanche from the federal government to expand home loans above and beyond what the normal market could accept for credit standards and everything else. And when they're guaranteeing these home loans, and you're a bank, and you've got the tacit guarantee and approval of the federal government, the banks did what they would, right or wrong, what you would expect them to do normally. The second issue, the second reason, the start of this crisis, if you will, with that is the fact that Federal Reserve policy has had a hyper-inflated economy, even though we don't necessarily see it, for so long. We've gone from bubble economy to bubble economy to bubble economy because the Federal Reserve has forgot that price stability, not economic growth, is their prime function. Economic growth is a fiscal issue. It's a tax and regulatory issue. It's not a monetary issue. The only thing the Federal Reserve should be doing is price stability. But because they got caught up in the trap to keep everything liquid, they created the bubble, the housing bubble, that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac fed upon, and that's what led to the start, if you will, of all the disasters. The worst thing about this financial regulatory bill is it doesn't address at all the core fault of the financial problems we're in. Yes, it addresses some regulations on the banks. There's probably a need to sharpen the regulations on the banks somewhere, but it doesn't address Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, it doesn't reform them. Plus, what it does is guarantee forever these bailouts. It just takes it off the front page and puts it in the back door. I call it the backdoor bailouts. So the next time there's a bailout of a massive financial institution, it's not going to happen publicly. You're not going to know about it. It's going to happen because all of their creditors are protected with this bill, and so that too big to fail thing we've been talking about is now enshrined in law. That law says that there are firms too big to fail, and the federal government will bail them out into perpetuity. So we have not solved the problem. As far as the other half of the question, which was compromise, listen, I believe that some of the biggest problems that we have in DC right now is that we are so partisan. And I think there's a great opportunity for people to come together and work together to find common solutions. I would remind, everybody's here is taking U.S. history, I would remind everybody here that we wouldn't have a constitution or a country without compromise of a sort. That's the great compromise, capital G, capital C. What we can never do is compromise our principles. You can compromise for principles, you can never compromise principle. And Ronald Reagan was great at this. Ronald Reagan had principles that we all respect and admire. He never compromised his principles, but he was pragmatic enough that he would sit in a meeting with Tip O'Neill and the Democratic leaders of the Congress back then, and he would get 50 or 60 or 80% of what he wanted. He wouldn't get 100%. You never do get 100% in America. But he was willing to find areas of agreement and move forward, and to me that was moving the bar, and I thought that was good. What's not bipartisanship is what the administration and Congress wants Republicans to do. They say that if you don't lock, stock, and barrel get behind their programs, and if you don't lock, stock, and barrel get behind health care or cap and trade or the financial regulatory reform bill, that somehow you're hyper-partisan. In fact, that's what Obama called it. I think he called it hyper-partisan. That's ridiculous. If it's a bad bill, it's a bad bill, and if they're not willing to compromise, then you need to vote no. And that's what's going on right now. We've got little children running the store right now, and all of you who are parents or grandparents know that your kid's going to grab the ice cream and the cookies. You don't get to compromise, you don't get to negotiate, you need to say no. And so there's times to compromise, there's times to find common agreement, but what I see with this current Congress, more often than not, the right thing to say is absolutely not. So that's it for the question.